Welcome back to the channel everyone, this is Konda, and today we're diving into something that is more than just a motorcycle, more than just a piece of engineering, and more than just a performance statement. We're talking about the 2025 Yamaha R1M, the latest evolution of a superbike that has been the poster child of Yamaha's racing DNA for more than 2 decades. If you've ever wondered what happens when MotoGP technology trickles down into a machine that you can actually buy, ride, and park in your garage, then this review will take you as close as possible to understanding it. The R1M is not just a superbike, it's a showcase of everything Yamaha knows about speed, control, and emotional connection with 2 wheels. So let's start right from the beginning, from the philosophy that gave birth to this motorcycle, and then work our way through the details that make it stand out in 2025. When Yamaha first introduced the R1 back in 1998, the mission was clear: redefine the elite-class superbike. That first R1 did exactly that, setting a benchmark for lightweight, compact, and powerful sports machines. Since then, every generation of R1 has pushed boundaries in one way or another, whether by cutting weight, adding electronics, or bringing racing tech closer to the street. The R1M, however, takes that foundation and layers on MotoGP-derived innovations, top-shelf components, and a level of sophistication that puts it at the very top of Yamaha's lineup, and the 2025 version refines that even further. Yamaha didn't reinvent the R1M for 2025, but they sharpened it, they polished it, and they added details that matter to riders who push their machines to the absolute limit. At the heart of the bike, you'll find the legendary crossplane inline-four, a 998cc CP4 engine that has become iconic since Yamaha first introduced it in 2009. This crossplane crankshaft design is what gives the R1 and R1M their unique exhaust note, a growling, uneven firing order sound that's unmistakable. But it's not just about the sound, it's about how the power is delivered. Instead of a peaky, frantic rush to the red line, the crossplane 4 gives you torque and linearity. It feels connected, like your wrist is directly controlling the rear tire. In 2025, Yamaha continues to refine its fuel mapping, its throttle response, and the way it interacts with the bike's electronic brain. The CP4 engine meets the latest emissions regulations without sacrificing the character that makes it so addictive. And with around 200 horsepower on tap, depending on market and dyno figures, the R1M is still a monster. But power numbers are only part of the story. What Yamaha focuses on is usable performance, the ability to harness that power, put it down effectively, and give the rider confidence lap after lap. The chassis remains the Delta Box aluminum frame, a tried and tested design that balances rigidity with flex. That balance is crucial, because on a superbike, too much stiffness makes the ride harsh and unpredictable, while too much flex kills precision. Yamaha engineers have spent years dialing this in, and for the R1M, it's paired with an aluminum swing arm and magnesium subframe, shaving weight wherever possible. But the real jewel here is the suspension. The R1M comes standard with Öhlins Electronic Racing Suspension, the ERS system that can adjust damping in real time. This isn't just some gimmick, it's suspension that reacts to your riding style, your lean angle, your acceleration, and your braking, multiple times per second, to keep the bike composed. On track, it means less trauma when you hit a bump mid-corner, less dive under heavy braking, and more grip when you open the throttle hard. Off the track, it means you can still enjoy the R1M without it beating you up over every imperfection in the road. The system is semi-active, meaning you can choose modes, customize settings, and let the electronics do the hard work of adjusting for conditions. And because the R1M is all about precision, the difference this suspension makes is night and day compared to the standard R1. Speaking of electronics, Yamaha loads the R1M with everything they've got. The 6-axis EMU is the brain of the bike, reading lean angle, pitch, yaw, acceleration, and roll in real time. That data feeds into a suite of rider aids that include traction control, slide control, lift control to manage wheelies, engine braking adjustment, launch control, and a quick shifter with auto blipper. Each of these systems is adjustable, so you can tailor the bike to your skill level and the riding environment. Want full MotoGP style freedom? You can back off the aids and let your right wrist do the talking. Want the safety net when pushing harder than usual? The electronics are there to catch you. The R1M also introduces refinements in user interface. The TFT display is sharp, colorful, and customizable, giving you access to all the data you need without distraction. Yamaha's Y-Track and Y-Lap systems allow you to log GPS data, analyze your laps, and even adjust settings wirelessly through your smartphone. Imagine doing a track day, going back to the paddock, checking your lap times, seeing where you brake too late or too early, and then adjusting the bike electronically before the next session. That's what the R1M offers, a direct link between rider, machine, and data. Now let's talk about design, because in 2025, Yamaha gave the R1M subtle but important updates. The most striking addition is the use of carbon fiber winglets integrated into the fairing. These aerodynamic features, inspired by Yamaha's MotoGP bikes, add downforce at high speeds, keeping the front wheel planted under acceleration and improving stability under braking. Unlike older add-on wings, these are beautifully sculpted into the bodywork, giving the R1M a futuristic, aggressive look while serving a real purpose on the track. The fairing itself is all carbon fiber, keeping weight low and adding that exotic appeal. Even small changes, like the redesigned seat material for better grip and rider movement, show how Yamaha sweats the details. The R1M looks every bit the part of a race-bred superbike, with a stance that screams speed even at a standstill. From the front LED headlights that look like eyes staring you down, to the slim tail section and exposed magnesium wheels, every inch of the R1M is purposeful. Braking is handled by Brembo-style EMA calipers clamping onto dual 320mm discs at the front. Paired with the high-spec Yamaha Master Cylinder, the feedback through the lever is excellent, with progressive bite and massive stopping power. With cornering ABS linked to the EMU, you can brake hard even while lean over, with the system preventing lockup without being intrusive. Combine this with sticky Bridgestone Battlex RS11 tires, 120/70 up front, 255 at the rear, and you have a package that feels planted and confidence-inspiring, even when pushing close to the limits of adhesion. Numbers-wise, the R1M tips the scales at around 452 pounds wet, which is very competitive for a superbike with this level of equipment. The seat height is just under 34 inches, so it's tall, as expected, but the riding position is pure super sport, aggressive, front-biased, designed for track use. The fuel tank holds 4.5 gallons. And while you're not buying a bike like this for fuel economy, Yamaha still manages to squeeze efficiency improvements so you can get respectable mileage when cruising. But let's be real, this is not a touring machine. This is a scalpel designed for performance. And of course, we need to talk price. The 2025 Yamaha R1M comes in at $27,699 MSRP, with some additional destination and surcharge fees depending on the market. That's a lot of money, no doubt about it, but it reflects what you're getting. The standard R1 is available at $18,999. And it's already a phenomenal superbike, but the R1M justifies the extra premium by offering carbon fiber bodywork, electronic Öhlins suspension, data logging systems, and that extra layer of exclusivity. It's a machine aimed at serious enthusiasts, track riders, and collectors who want the ultimate Yamaha superbike experience. Deliveries of the R1M are slated for spring 2025. While the standard R1 will hit dealerships earlier. Where does this bike fit in the bigger picture of superbikes? Well, the competition is fierce. You have the Ducati Panigale V4S and V4R, the BMW M1000RR, the Kawasaki ZX-10RR, and even Honda's CBR 1000RR Fireblade SP. Each of these machines represents the pinnacle of what their brands can offer. The Ducati is known for sheer horsepower and Italian flair, the BMW for its precision and technology, the Kawasaki for its racing pedigree, and the Honda for its balanced engineering. The Yamaha R1M competes by offering a blend of unique crossplane engine character, MotoGP-inspired electronics, and a reputation for reliability. It may not outgun the Ducati on peak horsepower, but it delivers power in a way that's smooth, controllable, and confidence-inspiring. It may not have the most radical styling, but it has an understated, purposeful beauty that appeals to those who want function first. And when it comes to electronic refinement, Yamaha is right there with the best. One of the unique selling points of the R1M is that it gives you a MotoGP-style riding experience without requiring MotoGP-level skill to manage it. The electronics are so well integrated that they enhance your ability rather than holding you back. Amateur riders can enjoy the bike with the safety nets engaged, while pros can switch things off and push it to the edge. This versatility makes the R1M a bike that grows with you as a rider. Another unique aspect is Yamaha's commitment to continuity. While some brands reinvent their superbikes every few years, Yamaha keeps refining the R1 platform, maintaining that familiar crossplane heartbeat that fans love, while still keeping it relevant against newer rivals. The 2025 update tests carbon winglets, refined electronics, improved ergonomics show that Yamaha is listening to riders and addressing the small details that make a big difference. Riding impressions of the R1M are almost universally glowing. The bike feels alive, connected, and precise. The throttle is sharp but not snatchy. The gearbox with its quick shifter is seamless, and the way the suspension adapts inspires confidence in situations that would unsettle lesser machines. On the track, it's easy to carry lean, head apexes, and trust the bike beneath you. The downforce from the winglets is subtle, but you notice the front staying planted under acceleration, which gives you the courage to open the throttle earlier. Off the track, yes, it's aggressive, but it's still rideable if you respect it. The heat, the posture, and the stiff setup remind you this is not built for commuting, but for those moments when you and the machine are fully engaged. It's pure magic. The 2025 Yamaha R1M represents the culmination of Yamaha's superbike philosophy. It's not about chasing the highest horsepower numbers or the flashiest gadgets, but about creating a machine that works with the rider, a bike that embodies control, precision, and emotion. For Yamaha, the R1M is a statement that their MotoGP DNA is alive and well in production form. And for riders who want that experience, who want to own a piece of that lineage, the R1M is unmatched. So to wrap this up, the R1M is not for everyone. It's expensive, it's demanding, and it's specialized. But for the riders who understand it, who crave that blend of technology and soul, it's worth every penny. It's a motorcycle that reminds us why we fall in love with two wheels in the first place, and not just because of the numbers on a spec sheet, but because of the feeling when you ride. When the engine snarls beneath you, when the bike responds instantly to your inputs, when the world blurs around you and it's just you, the machine, and the road or track. That's what the 2025 Yamaha R1M delivers, and that's why it deserves a spotlight here on Conda.